These minorities are ruining our country. The president's voice boomed from the television. Too long have they come to our country and stolen wages that should be rightfully ours. They're rapists, they're thieves, and they must be dealt with. I sighed and clicked off the TV set. The unrest in this nation was really starting to come to a head. He's right, my husband commented. Something needs to be done about them. But extermination? Is that really necessary? I replied. The whole idea of the extermination gave me a queasy feeling. Don't let them hear you say something like that. They'll come for you too. My husband kissed my forehead and handed me the lunch he had packed. The drive to work was uneventful, save for the tension in the air, which could be felt all over since the new regime was elected. When I got to work, however, I was met with more than usual tension. Everyone looked somber. What's going on? I asked my coworker Sandra. She faked the widest smile she could and replied, they finally took care of Brooke today. Brooke? But she was the sweetest woman I've ever met. She had never committed any of those crimes the minorities stood accused of, and they had already... Oh God, I wish I hadn't given her such a hard time about the presentation. Oh, was all I could manage to reply. My grief was quickly interrupted by the sound of gunshots. I instinctively put my hands up in the air and sank to my knees. A team of men in uniforms entered the room. We've heard some of you have a problem with the new regime. I'll invite you to take it up with the barrel of my rifle. One of the men barked. Someone here has been covering for one of these disgusting minority animals. I do my best not to flinch. Anything seen as support for the criminals could land me on the extermination list as well. No, Sandra screamed as the Marines dragged her across the floor by her hair. Please, I swear I didn't help her. It was just a few scraps of food and she wasn't even illegal yet. Please, what about my children? You should have thought about that before you helped one of those filthy criminals. The Marine bellowed as he raised the rifle to her head and pulled the trigger. That's what happens when you help illegals. Go home now, you're all officially under curfew. I couldn't get home fast enough. I just wanted to jump into my husband's arms, but instead I found him on the couch intently watching something. Honey, the president is about to give his speech. Come see. My husband beckoned gleefully. The TV flickered on and the president spoke with booming authority. We finally exterminated the pests that have infested our society for too long. No longer will this minority rule us. Today we have eradicated the billionaires.